Good morning and welcome to the Cloffice. I hope that you are well this morning. I was just reading the book of Esther, and it's kind of funny because as I was reading through the first couple chapters, I kind of had this little moment where, you know what? I have read the book of Esther. I have read the book of Esther a lot of times. Every year at Purim, and then throughout the year, done studies on it. Maybe I'll just skip the book of Esther this time and I'll just carry on. But then I had this little voice that said, you might regret not reading the book of Esther. So I carried on to read the story of Esther. And I found myself so inspired today in a different way that I hadn't thought of before, or at least I don't remember thinking of before. And I found myself so inspired by both Esther and Mordecai. And in terms of just being so secure and steadfast in who we are in Christ. And Mordecai had to be so secure and steadfast in who he is so that he didn't bow to Haman, so that he didn't live in fear under Haman, but he did what was right, what he knew what was right before his God. And so I just felt inspired and encouraged by that, and how important it is that we're humble, yet that we're strong and courageous, and that we don't allow the enemy who seeks to destroy us to overcome us, but instead we are overcomers, and we overcome evil with good and doing what is righteous and being humble and doing what is good. If we are faithful and we walk in righteousness with God, then we will never be put to shame. It's so important that we don't allow the enemy, like Haman, who couldn't be happy until he destroyed Mordecai, that we don't allow that aspect of the enemy to cause us to shrink back or to hide, because we feel like the enemy will never let up as long as we are doing what is right and we are marching forward. We can't allow that to cause us to hide or to shrink back, but we need to be so encouraged to be strong and courageous, to be faithful, to be humble, to be bold in the things of God. If the enemy's after you, go to the king, just like Esther did, in humility. First, she had everyone praying and fasting, and then in humility, she went to the king. So you, if the enemy's after you, go to the king. Spend time with him. Dine with him. She dined with him twice before even talking to him about the problem. Spend time with the king. Dine with him, and he will avenge you, and he will protect you, because he loves you and you are his. So today I want to encourage you. Know who you are in Christ Jesus and spend time dining with the King. Have an amazing day, and God bless.